Hello there everyone, and welcome back. We have a brand new fresh install of Battlefleet Gothic. I have verified the data cache to make sure there were no corruptions or anything, and I'm really hoping I will not suffer any more crashes from here on out. I'm really hoping. Although it's more than likely it's like a bug or something with the game itself. But the last match I did with the Bastion, trying to do more of like a baiting tactic with my sauces and protectors, seemed to have went potentially well. I may have pushed a little too early with my Bastion, that it could have died a horrible death, but not before taking out the Dominator. Well, not the Dominator, but I think it was a Tyrant there that is shot down, and was giving the Mars a hard time. Ooh, and there's potential to do it again, if I want to continue with that route. To be honest, I'm kind of okay with that. This Bastion does need to get some more levels in and hopefully some more upgrades. Because right now, it and the Stronghold are kind of lacking behind in terms of experience, so I think I'm okay with that. Now, well, this time let's avoid having a stealth alloy ship there because I like as much raw firepower as possible. And we're going to do this again. See if I can yield some better results. Of course, a lot of it does come down to where there are asteroid fields for me to utilize. That's going to dictate a lot of the flow that I'm going to have here as far as the match is going to go. Because if I have an asteroid belt in my side of the map, then essentially that means I can be a lot more aggressive because it's going to be charged up almost immediately. But if it's somewhere on the middle of the map, or worst case it's on their side of the map, it's going to take a lot of baiting and stalling, and hopefully some decent chipping down with my protectors and sauces, but that will take an eternity, especially if it is only on their side of the map. Hell, I might have to consider abandoning the attempt to charge the mine laser altogether. And this is like the worst case situation for me. Unless somehow I could trick them away from that minefield, or an asteroid field rather, there is no way I'm charging up that Bastion. Not unless I can happen to find some wreckage that's worth checking. It's going to be really annoying to try and find them, but I know there's sometimes a few that are scattered around. I don't see any though. So how do I want to do this? Bait him away from the nebula clouds. I don't want him to take advantage of that extra little gas cloud he can use to just hide himself. I seriously doubt this is going to work, but it's going to be in a position where it can at least strike if I do play my cards right. So I'm okay with this. I am definitely okay with this. It's just not going to be as effective as the last attempt. Although his positioning works well for me, I just got to make him go a little bit to the left. If he happens to have like a couple of Widowmakers though, or even worse, an Emperor. Let's see, well, he has an Emperor. He's got 2 frigates, he's giving away everything. So let me just do this. Yeah, just make sure it shoots at something that I can take advantage of.
Demiurg Brotherhood responding.
Let's try not to get too aggressive though for my own sake. But he's making this easy for me. 1 Dominator, 2 Dauntlesses. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's his most comfortable fleet, because if anything, it's a really awkward one. He has a level 8 Dauntless. This is a Lance Dauntless. And everything else is like level 2 or level 1, so he's had a weird experience. A mixed experience at least.
At your orders.
But this Bastion has an opportunity at least to kind of get up there.
The patient hunter gets
sure, it's only 75 armor. Actually, I should just consider just shooting these firestorms. Maybe a little excessive. Oh, I feel bad for him right now. He doesn't seem to know the first rule of dealing with that, and since he only has 1 Nova Cannon, that's not a huge issue. My shields are going to happily recharge. Maybe I shouldn't commit so much on the firestorm, but at least I can kill something. And I keep an eye on the range. Well, there goes the firestorm easily enough.
Demiurg Brotherhood responding.
Let's try it again. I feel bad now. This is not the start I want. And I'm almost in 12,000 unit range.
Will be so.
Huh. For all I know, he could be typing bad manner stuff at me now about how overpowered something ridiculous. Even though he's kind of making it easy for me, I'm not gonna lie.
Targeting sensors lock on.
Let's do some damage.
Air Caste.
I could take the half damage from those things, I'm not worried. Even with the Nova Cannon, though, it's gonna hurt. Ooh, that was even a full damage Nova Cannon.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
So never mind that.
Core L ready.
Let's get on out of here. I can repair a lot of this damage.
How may I serve the Tauba?
And with my boosters going, that will mitigate a crap ton of attacks as well. Oh, I forgot to turn off the auto cast. This is gonna hurt. Yeah, that really did hurt.
Demiurg ship at
That was a big blunder, but at least I have repairs. And auto cast is off. Now let's reposition. This is an opportunity to charge up my Demiurg.
Serve the Kovatra.
So this is still not terrible.
The ethereals guide us.
And I still have lock on, so I can actually do some damage.
Core L ready.
Okay, shields can hold. Shields can absorb that
By
damage
my
easily.
sight, we shall attack.
I just have no lock on, which is fine.
Hunter gets
I have
the
seeker missiles to
prey.
do this.
Pure Tide's
Wow,
teachings
that
guide our
that
fire.
ship's like still standing.
Pure Tide engrams online.
Okay, it's not much, but I'll take what I can get.
Disengaging Pure Tide command link.
pick any target you like and open fire.
Ooh, that was a big, huge whiff, but it's forced him to turn, which means I get full damage on his side.
Brotherhood responding.
This is like worst case situation for him. I can murder that thing immediately. Oh, and seeker missiles did launch again. I really gotta remember to turn that off.
Targeting sensors lock on.
It was scary for a moment. Not anymore.
Ship at your orders.
Brace for impact, ram him. Let him enjoy the last few moments he has with his fleet, because it's going to continue to not level. It was incredibly sloppy, I'm not going to lie. It felt sloppy as hell, with the seeker missiles at least. But if he's not going to warp out, if he's not going to take the hint, I'm going to have to force him to not have his fleet, I guess.
At your orders, Colonel.
He has a perfect opportunity to run away, he just doesn't want to do it.
Optimal combat speed.
Okay, he's running.
Strike the killing blow.
I'll let it go. I'll have some mercy on this poor fella. Because after all, it is a level 1 Emperor.
Target acquired.
I want him to have something to look forward to, right? Even though, again,
Serve the Kovatra.
he's still refusing to run away, and I have wreckage in the way, don't I?
Demiurg Brotherhood responding.
Alright, if he's going to be that way.
Surveying location.
Another whiff of the Demiurg, but I don't even think there's a point in trying anymore.
Demiurg ship at your orders.
It's just a matter of whether he chooses to give up or not. I'm waiting.
Gunners, hold your fire.
Alright. What a letdown. Although, he did have a really bit of a mismatch of a fleet. 2 Dauntlesses, a Dominator, Nova Cannon on its own wouldn't do a whole lot. Even though he did get a full 200 point shot in, when I thought it would only be 100, so that was a bit of a mistake on my part. And he's got an Emperor now at level 2, which actually could still ruin my ambush attempt with the Bastion. Because of how massive his sensor range is, it could catch it when I'm not in an ideal position. That is still a possibility. I could still ideally micro warp jump into a good position now that I have the extended sensor range, but even then, I'm kind of forced to do that. Otherwise, the Bastion's vulnerable to a lot of broadside fire and not a whole lot of ways to bring it to, quite frankly, dish it out. Probably not. I'm probably overthinking a little bit with the sensor range, but it does make things a little bit awkward, and that was a letdown of a match. A big letdown as far as I'm concerned, but hey, first level 9 ship. upgrade the marker drones some more, and it really comes down to when these ships eventually reach level 10. I'm probably going to stop with at least the Tau videos for it. Let me rephrase that. At least I'm going to stop with the Tau videos before I get to level 10, I'm going to assume. But upgrades I was considering for the Sauces at least is either gain the Stealth Alloy, which is I don't feel comfortable with because it means I'm having them away from the protectors, so they're not really going to get support as effectively as I like. There's the accelerators to increase the range of the railguns, which makes them a lot safer from harm if there's a risk of them getting focused down, so they can ideally stay behind the protectors and still do a good amount of damage with its railguns. That has potential there. I like the prospect of that, but I think it requires me to go Kion to even have accuracy. Well, actually, it's not possible to get 15,000 units unless I lock on, so it's still possible to hit. It's just not a very strong chance to hit if I'm understanding accuracy right. And there was a third one I'm considering. Oh, the extended sensors, which probably doesn't matter so much because so many of my ships have beacons. That is horribly, horribly redundant. But I think the extended railgun might be what I'm considering there. I'm just not sure exactly how to utilize it. And Stealth Alloy could be fun for amazing flanking potentials. Again, if it gets caught off guard, because I'm not going to have my protectors with the Stealth Alloy, because they're more of my frontliners with the adaptive deflector, at least currently. So they're going to be nowhere near the Sauces, and the point of them is to kind of help repair and keep my Sauces alive, ideally, if they do happen to get focused down. So keep them in group together tends to be the most effective. So that's my current train of thought there as far as my level 10 upgrades. Not sure exactly what I want to do with the protector, aside from maybe extend the ion cannons for my Torkuls. The Forla does not need it because it already got the extended ion cannons, and another option may be to increase the shield health, because with adaptive deflector that's a massive improvement, so long as they're getting shot at from the front. Otherwise, it just comes down to what the hell I want with this custodian, which really is probably just focus on its durability, since that seems to work well for me now I'm figuring out the Tau. So energy shield's probably a plus. Probably, well, I was gonna say maybe the secondary command deck might be useful to keep brace for impact as an option. Although, I don't think that's worth it. We finally got a match though, at least, even with my stall tactics to try and keep talking about how I'm going to build up this fleet, and at least for the moment, I have a good idea what I want to do with the Sauces. Oh, it's this poor guy again. This might be another letdown, folks, I apologize. Should we try things a little bit different? Should I unleash the Custodian? Have a little bit of fun, but not be too cruel to him, because he can easily overwhelm the Custodian with his raw health, his prow armor. It's still a very dangerous prospect, so I'm probably going to regret this. Now it just begs the question, what do I want to support? I kind of want a good amount of flanking damage, so... And I have no way... I don't have the points for another light cruiser, so we're stuck with this. I guess. Oops, I'm doing that wrong. I just don't feel like the messenger is very effective, because I can easily dodge the torpedoes. It might be good against the Emperor though, if he's going to feel that again. And he's got himself a level 2 Emperor now. Maybe this is just a bad time of the day, because to be honest, I'm doing this like late in the night for me there, because I don't really have time to record for when I normally do it, so I'm kind of doing it the night of, before the actual video, so the time schedule is completely different for me, and that might be what's going on with the queues. Not a lot of people playing, I guess. Although I shouldn't get too cocky, this can still be brutal. especially if his fleet's managed to repair itself, so I still need to be careful. Although if he's going to boost forward again, then I can abuse that so well. There's no question about it. I'm just wondering how I want to group these. You are going to be grouped... Well, I don't want to have them grouped up like that. I'm kind of second guessing now, because a single Nova Cannon is just going to straight up kill my frigates. Wait a minute. Oh, at first I was worried the Castellan only had 100 health, because I wasn't seeing an increment anymore. I was a little bit worried about that. Doesn't look like the case, but it certainly looks like it here, doesn't it? I don't know if it looks like it, but there's no increment. Normally that would represent 100 health, so that was scary. Oh, he's doing it again. Let's not have Racer Impact on Auto Caste, that would be kind of ideal. I should have just focused down one of his frigates. Okay, this looks like a higher level fleet. He's still got a Dominator though. Still got a Dominator, he's still not fine. Well, he doesn't have any torpedoes actually, so... How do I want to do this? Because again, Dominator. I need to take that seriously. Let the Custodian take the front, but it's going to take a world of hurt. And I don't want these ships near it because the Nova Cannon's going to kill them easy.
As the ethereals wish.
This is definitely going to be different.
Gravitic drive engaged.
Although, that's a bad angle I'm realizing for shooting a Firestorm. I regret shooting that. Messenger took some hits. We'll let him come to me. I'm in no need to rush. I just gotta make sure I can punish him when he does dive. That's not even 100 points of damage, so I didn't even need to move. That works for me. Frigates taking hits. Although the missiles did get spread out, so that was a mistake too. Yeah, he's waiting for his Emperor, that's fine. I'm just gonna deal with as much firepower as I can for free. If I can hit him, that would be good. He's on the move. This Castellan's not gonna get to do a whole lot. Oh. Oh, he wasted his shield disruptor. Oh, that's cute. They're on Auto Caste. That's so cute. Alright. Get these ships back. Just get these moving. These can easily get in good position. A Nova Cannon is gonna hurt. Ooh, that Manta Bomber barrage was brutal. Delicious even. And now he's exposing his prow or broadside to me. His aft. Whatever section it is. I don't care. I'm shooting it anyway. Yep, the bait worked flawlessly, apparently. Because now he's got a bunch of missiles with his name on it. And the Emperor is not going to do a whole lot, but I think the Emperor is the bigger threat and much more easier to hit. So let's stop playing with our food, I guess. I'll be generous if he flies off again, but this has been terribly underwhelming. And wow, he's got the faster warp jump for at least his Dauntlesses. Not that I could blame him. And wow, sure I wasn't paying attention, but I wasn't expecting that thing to just one-shot my Wardens. I thought they still had shields. Oh, never mind. They were hit by a disruptor. Never mind. Alright, let's kill these frigates. Give no mercy to those things, because they can't run away. And with the ion cannons, they cannot run away. They'll die eventually. Even the Dominator's taking stray fire. I'm not even aiming at it, it's getting hit regardless. Let's see, does it take any more hits? 1 shot, 2 shots. Very underwhelming series of matches. And if I were to queue for a third one, I would imagine it's going to be the same person. At least he's gained some experience for his lower level ships. His Dauntless for that match though is a different story. At least the one poor Dauntless. I hope I didn't shoot the one that was level 2. Then I would feel like an awful person. His level 7 or level 8 though, he can live with that dying for a match or two, right? But I was wrong about that custodian. It wrecked that one Dauntless. Mainly because he flew into it with no support. But it still wrecked him, and it felt good. I feel like doing it again if I end up getting matched up with him. I personally would prefer a real match though. Can you really blame me? That's not really exciting. It doesn't make for a good YouTube video. And it does not help me with experimenting with my Bastion stronghold tactic that I'm trying to utilize. At least against Imperial Navy. It probably has amazing use against orcs too. Especially if I can get on their rear, the juicy 25 armor. Regardless of how little prow weaponry they have there, those prow guns are still going to do massive work. Which ones are the prow anyway? So yeah, that's still a lot of damage if they all manage to hit. And if they have no shields, ooh, that's a bunch of permanent damage with potential fires and hull breaches. Sounds like a win in my book. The hard part would be just getting close to them. Especially with a stronghold, because that has been a bit hit or miss if I'm behind them, or trying to get on their rear, because they can just straight up outrun this poor thing, regardless of how powerful it is. Not to mention being on the rear is probably not the best for my torpedo spread as well. It's far more ideal on the flank, so I'll have to experiment, see which is better. Still, it's probably going to be the rear just because of the 25 armor. The trick is getting there. And with the lack of extended sensors for the stronghold, that's not happening. But the Bastion at least can do it. It can do it just fine there. Alright, match number 3. Same guy. Is it John the Black? I'm pretty certain it's the same guy. I haven't been paying that much attention, but yeah. Let's try this one more time. Do I really take the custodian? I like to let him have his experience rather than be too merciless. And plus, I want the experience for the Bastion. At least, if nothing else, this is a good opportunity to get experience for my fleet. Just don't think I care much for it. Because I got the renown, I don't need the kills. The experience is nice for at least my lower level ships, but with how many matches it'll take to get to level 9-10, at least for Sauce's Protectors, that means little. Because it's going to take a while before they can even get their final upgrade slot. Oh well. This probably will be a series of unfortunate matches for me. I got asteroid fields to keep me company though. Which I guess isn't all that bad. But the real challenge, I'm going to try and challenge myself a little bit here. I'm going to try and cripple his fleet but not kill him. We're going to try and do controlled aggression here. Something to mix it up, maybe something to make it more interesting. Because he's been disappointing me with his tactics, revealing himself. To the point, I haven't really been paying attention to my fleet comp. I kind of want at least a protector near Sauce to help repair him. So, we're going to try our best to avoid killing him and force him to just retreat. Although, if this does work, I'm going to feel like I'm going to kill a soul today. Crush his spirit. His will to keep playing this game. And if that happens, I'm going to feel like an awful person. Because it's more merciful just killing him. If you were to ask me anyway. So 5 ships. This does not look like any frigates that he has. So he could have anything. I know he's got some battle cruisers at least, which he hasn't fielded in the last 2 matches, so he probably has them now. If I were to guess. Also, I need to make a note to sprout the Sauce just a tiny bit. Well, just this one Sauce. He's more tempted than Novacan them because he actually knows they're there. These 2 are kind of safe for the time being. And he's not actually boosting me. He's learning his lesson. So maybe this can be beneficial for the poor fella. And what are we looking at speed here? Those could be battle cruisers and a cruiser.
Air Caste, ready for orders.
So he does have 2 Nova Cannons, 3 Nova Cannons, so
Gets the prey.
he's gonna do that route, huh? Fine.
Or L ready.
No more Mr. Nice Guy, I guess.
Something to mine there.
Your tide engrams online.
Time to bring our A game. He's asked for this. Sorry to lead you all in suspense about the lie.
Air Caste ready for orders.
About, well, what I mean by lie is that
Patient hunter.
this would be an underwhelming match. With 3 Nova Cannons, it's still a issue.
How may I serve the tower?
We serve the Kovatra.
So I don't need to do crap if he's just gonna reveal himself. That makes my job easy.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
And my Sasa is getting repaired, right? It's getting some repairs.
Your orders,
I just
Colonel.
gotta keep them spread out for the sake of not making these ships easy to get a group damage. And he's flying to an astrofield. That was nice of him.
The patient hunter gets
Even his frigates or dauntlesses are in there. Alright, so everything's turned. He's missing everything. Wow.
How may
I wasn't
serve
even
the
trying to
Kovatra?
move and every single one missed. Although, when you're firing at practically max range, you're kind of asking for it to miss.
Good.
Let's be honest, that's how Nova Cannons work.
We serve the
So,
Kovatra.
that was more in my favor than otherwise.
For Anvar, it will be so.
So,
Patient hunter gets the prey.
let's just bomb them. Although I have no secret missiles.
For L ready. By my set, we shall
Just hit him, fire at him. Unload everything since he's making this easy.
Corel,
Let's try and spread out my fleet some though to minimize the damage.
the patient hunter gets the prey.
And he's ramming himself. No, there goes a
At your
prow.
orders, Colonel.
There goes his weaponry.
Target acquired. Shift to optimal combat speed.
So just take the hit. I have just as much health as he does.
Teachings of Viola.
Alright. No more Mr. Nice Guy. This means, Ward, a moment you decide
Location.
to launch those Nova Cannons on me. So you're going to hell. This level 2 Dominator, and I'm gonna make a statement.
Mining ship underway.
Although after all that damage, I still didn't get a critical hit on anything. I feel a little ripped off.
Surveying location.
Okay.
Serve the Tauva.
A little underwhelming. Maybe a tiny bit more scarier, because you have to take Nova Cannons seriously. I don't know what he's saying there. That could be a swear. He could be cursing at me now. I don't know what that language that is. Someone could translate for me, maybe. I apologize, though. 3 wins. All underwhelming. I do get experience to call my own, and his ships are mostly intact. Except for the one Dauntless. I kinda gave up being nice to him when he decided to unload all the Nova Cannons on me. Now, if only he stopped boosting into me like that, giving me free Seeker missiles, that would help a lot. And he probably doesn't realize the Seeker missiles don't penetrate armor, so he's been failing to have his prow take the hits. Not to mention it's kind of easy to dodge the Seeker missiles, so long as you turn hard enough that you can avoid the first turn. And if you don't kill it by the time it comes around, then not much it can do for you, but at least you would have killed a lot of the Seeker missiles in the process. So it will greatly mitigate the damage. Which begs the other issue I have. He's been boosting to reveal himself and get at me, but he has not been boosting to dodge the missiles. Which you think would be the first thing to come to mind with most people. If you see missiles coming right at you, you want to try and evade them, right? Well. What else can I say? Now I just need to get an opportunity for this Daylift to get some matches in. Because it's getting close to level 7 too. And the Bastion did get its level in, so making some progress.